rid of him at this point.
Deek.
Deek, whatever. 40 plus 1 plus 5, 42 HP, 58 attack, 36 speed, 37 defense, 30 res. Like Rorax, reposition, ether, distant counter, low attack defense, attack smoke, and kestrel stance. That's actually so clean and concise. I actually love this build.
I like the res super boon. I love seeing that on Deek. I also find it funny you literally throw out everything except for Tiger Rorax.
Okay, yeah, keep the axe. That's the best thing.
Close defense 4, no follow up. I don't even remember his C slot, but it's all gone.
So I actually really like this build because I feel like this is when we talked about building him. The reality was like you had to go to this distance. You had to because his base build is not great.
It's okay if you're trying to use him as a particular melee check, but he has so much flexibility. Threat and attack defense on his C, so that's obviously flex.
Right.
Honestly, I'd almost say I actually prefer the threaten over attack smoke, just for the premium sense.
Okay.
But that's a bit of a hot take. But I don't know. When it works better than attack smoke, and attack smoke doesn't hit the target.
Sure. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, but threatens with DC is weird.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just my thing, but I mean, I just like keeping premium skills. But that said,
fair enough.
This already hits 33 res. I like to emphasize the res in particular because that's what makes Deek so interesting. And out the gate, that's 33 with Lull, 38 with Tiger Roar. That's very respectable, honestly, for distant counter usage. And with Kestrel, that's 45 speed, so very easy not to get doubled. Would you switch Kestrel to Swift Stance? Or Mirror Stance? No. Yeah.
Swift Stance, maybe, because I think he has enough attack, right? Low attack defense, Tiger Roar Axe gets him into 60s, mid 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that one.
Yeah.
A bit more speed just to protect him a bit more, and more res is the only thing he's lacking.
Which even then, he is surprisingly good in res.
Yeah, he's... So for those gods, Tiger Roar Axe is super good because it gives you a guaranteed double, which is crazy. And then plus 5 to all stats.
On slaying.
And slaying. It's actually a really good weapon, but to fully utilize him, you had to do a build like this. So this is like one of the first builds I've seen that fully utilize him. Like, we conceptualized using DC on him. We just saw no one do that on him.
Because, unfortunately, again, poorly timed banner, and not the most powerful.
Yeah. He's really good, actually. He has a lot of promise. He's underrated.
Absolutely. Like, he does something that most axe infantry can't, and that's mix tank while doubling. So that's a huge prospect in his favor. He doesn't go the CC repel route, but he doesn't really need to, especially if you're going for light blessing. 35 res out the gate with a blessing buff. That's not bad. Like, you could take...
Hey, it's Lucina! Okay, I like this build. Here's the thing.
Ooh.
You're probably going to switch off because Seal Falchion is going to be more independence and you won't have to do any of this stuff anymore.
I mean, to be fair, Attack Dev Unity, as far as I've seen, is literally just the, if you have it, you might as well put it on the unit.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you'll probably keep Attack Defense Unity, but everything else... Right, Falchion's going to replace him. If you're not going to run a close bond, then that's probably not going to be the best option for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't use Blue Flame if you're not going to use Bond Falchion. Low attack speed's fine. I mean, I'm personally of the opinion that Lucina best suits a damage reduction build, but you don't have to.
Hold on, who has Attack Defense Oath?
Oath? Good question. That's not Edelgard or Sylvain.
I've like never seen anyone use that. Like, inherit that, sorry.
I haven't either. That's on Altina. Huh?
You killed Altina for Attack Defense Oath?
I know some people have a hate for Altina, but okay.
What the heck? Why would anyone do that?
Oh, you have damage reduction, okay. Huh.
I can't believe that.
You drive?
Why would you even bother, man? Alright, so here's what I'm gonna say.
You love your defense stat.
Here's the thing. Okay, I think you're gonna prefer repel in the future. The thing is,
Yeah.
you use attack defense unity, repel. Probably run her with instead of a solo skill like speed res solo would be perfect on her. You fix her to you need more speed, you need more res. Yeah.
Then you have joint drive.
Joint drive, right? And that falchion now going into sealed falchion makes a lot more sense. So I think that you'll prefer that build in the future. We don't know what sealed falchion does yet, but most likely that's the build you're gonna go for.
Yeah. Watch Steel Falchion have damage reduction already in it.
Okay, if they did that,
it would also be absolutely terrible on Crom, but
that's the thing.
I'm
so,
just
yeah.
saying it would be funny.
Anyways,
yeah.
Congratulations on you being yet another person who has said no to respond Lucina.
And who has said yes to Lucina over Mass Marth.
Oh yeah, that's that too. All right, but with that said, your actual stats in this build is +4 to all things. Honestly, I don't want to calculate everything. Jesus Christ, dude. All right, Jill, and you don't need guard bearing, but it's so good on her.
Okay.
Here's the thing, guys. She has DC, or sorry, not DC, Desperation in her weapon. So her B slot can be used for anything. And since she's a flyer, she cannot use damage reduction or lols, right?
I mean, now she has access to Wyvern Flight.
Oh yeah. So therefore, her best B slot is Wyvern Flight, which she has the speed and defense to pretty much pull it off. Her defense is not great, by the way.
It's not amazing, but as long as you're not dealing with high defense targets, which granted there are a lot of those, you can get there.
So yeah, it's debatable what you want to go for, but it's between guard bearing and Wyvern Flight. You only got two options.
Which in Aetherraid's defense, I'd argue, would be guard bearing.
Right. There you go. It's actually a really good build. With guard bearing, heavy blade, and right tail ring and axe dropping into 4 cooldown, if she doesn't die and she gets 2 shots on the enemy team, they're in a shit ton of trouble.
Yeah. The essential point is make it as hard as possible for Jill to die because she's already hitting 49 base speed, 53 with rain, effectively. It's very hard to double her, and that first hit's not going to kill her most of the time.
Yep.
So, basically, tank a hit, go in with Tower Gignac, Scale Force, and just sweep the team.
Yep.
It's a very annoying build, honestly.
It is.
Like, you'd be surprised how much 19 res can be stretched out with guard bearing.
The other thing you'd be surprised by is like how fast and how hard she is. This character does not make sense.
Nope.
You might look at 63 attack and be like, wow, Nims, that's a lot. It is way more than 63.
Yeah, that ain't nothing yet.
+6, +7, +4. That's 17, I think. So 80? 80? 80.
80 attack, effectively 76 for the sake of the heavy blade check.
Yep. With 59 speed. 80 times 2.
3.
You are dead.
Bravimond adds 3, so that's 83. Assuming you have Bravimond.
Assuming, yeah. I think this build is currently optimal, but can you look through her skills to make sure she's good for ARD? I think she's good for ARD. I got nothing for you. This is so stupidly good. The only thing I'd say, remove this though. Oh, Jesus, don't give her a special. Don't give her a like assist skill. That's what's gonna slow her down. Unless you have a trap.
Yeah, I'm not exactly the best with rally traps on melee units, especially. But if you can make a rally trap work, then that's fine. That's
okay. This.
Pegasus.
What were you thinking? This is literally impossible on her. What's her res, chat?
Worthless.
What were you gonna fight? I don't understand. What were you gonna fight?
Who are you gonna fight with 17 or less res to even make this work?
Please tell me you were drunk and thought you were inheriting Wyvern Flight. Jesus. Well, I'll tell you right now, this was an absolute waste. I can't even imagine what else you would have taken. Because it's 3 points.
On Fiora, you literally just killed Fiora.
Okay, well, you killed her. You did it.
You congratulations? Maybe you'll hit for... Who even has that little res today?
He just has a Wudao sword. Probably soon, but she's a Tempestral hero. Tempestral heroes get weird refined times. Okay, she looks pretty badass with Barrier Axe. I gotta admit that. Rally attack speed plus soul, steady posture 3, repel 3, times pulse and steady posture. More speed, more defense, more defense. And with repel, this is basically like a reworked Shannon, right? Except there's no attack. But yeah. High speed, high defense, with damage reduction to boot. Probably not taking any damage. That's healing special as well. This is such a weird build. Chat, what do you think of this build? The problem is, like, hey, look, she has 37 res, she has 1040 defense, and she has 56 speed, and she has a repel on top of that. The problem is she only has 50 attack. What is she gonna do? Tickle her opponents to death? What the heck? Okay, my suggestion, my honest suggestion is you try at least to use a special that does damage, because you're never gonna kill at this rate. That's not good. Not good. At least maybe run mirror stance. I think you're fast enough. 56 speed might not seem like it's enough right now, but with more merges, which I assume you're gonna do, and a fruit for speed, which is a super boon, you'll definitely have enough speed at that point. So I would probably go for mirror stance for more res and more attack. At least I'll try and figure out solve some issues. If you can't kill your opponent in 2 shots, even with advantage, at 50 attack, you might not kill them in 2 shots, even with advantage. That's a real big problem. So at least switch this to mirror stance, fruit her up. Maybe even change her weapon. Her good weapons are, for example, huge fan. I'm a huge fan of huge fan. +4 attack, +4 defense. If you have a buff and faster cooldown on specials, that's also a really good one. So yeah, if you're willing to give up on barrier acts, me. Oh my god. Okay, well, we should have just sent this. Ah, yeah, I should have checked your Julia at the same time as the last Julia.
Oh.
This would have been just like, we talked about her beast slot, and we're like, yeah, now follow-up probably makes the most sense, and you actually used the prop.
Oh, well, okay.
Wow, actually,
no complaints here at all.
I really like this
Shinon.
Julia.
This is Shinon, and honestly, no follow-up comes from wherever you want.
The only thing is, I think she still prefers Fury, right? Because 41 res is not a lot, but it beats most physical heroes, so it still works.
I think it even beats Edelgard. Well, Edelgard, you need a 3 res check. Plus 10 Edelgard is, I think, 40.
Yeah. It's pushing it. Personally, I prefer Fury on her, but yeah, it drains her HP, so you might not prefer that. Unfortunately, there really isn't a good skill for her.
And for Divine Naga.
Yeah. Because if you go for
Yeah,
Fortress
kinda
Defense
like-
res, you got something awkward.
That's kind of why Deirdre does it, not Julia. But at the same time, 41 res does still catch more units than 36 by a landslide.
Yeah.
So, and with a buff, relatively speaking, there shouldn't be a lot of units that don't get hit for that Divine Naga penalty. Well, buff, rather. At which point you hit 48 speed. And I mean, even if you don't, it's the least important part of her kit.
I just realized something. This is really awkward, right? Neutralize foes bonuses during combat. So they could have like +7 res. Divine Naga doesn't work. But the second part, the first part works during combat.
Yep.
So you lose the check, but they lose the res in the battle. That's so stupid.
Yeah, it is kind of funny, ain't it?
Yeah.
But again, it's the least important part because at the end of the day, it's still an anti-adaptive, anti-buff tome with Dragon Effective.
Right.
So that's all you could really ask for, which I still find it funny. Divine Naga has the anti-adaptive in its base, while regular Naga has that in its refine. So if you stat refine Divine Naga, realistically, you wouldn't be much worse off than perf refining it. Whereas if you stat refine regular Naga, you're very much worse off.
Yeah. That's actually really interesting.
Yeah. Just an important nuance to note. Especially if you're going to do with this, Julia. Maybe you could speed refine.
Right. Because your speed is real good.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on how much you're facing that has more than 38 res.
Mm-hmm.
To put it into perspective. But for reference, that's 33 defense, 37 defense with Divine Naga.
Nice.
36. And then 47, 51 res, 58, 65, 69. Nice. Attack. Well, 68 attack, rather.
68 attack and up to 9 more speed, so 48 speed. That's actually really all around a really good, powerful Julia.
Yeah. And then with no follow-up, time spells noontime. If she doubles, even if she's not getting counterattack, that's pretty nasty.
Good night, Jelly Turbs.
Have a good night. And you even have regular Naga, so it's not like you're fresh out of water if you don't use that res check properly.
And I said I prefer Fury 4, which you have, and you have Close Foil because you have normal Naga, which of course, and you have attack speed push. Okay, great. And you have
Okay, you
attack
have
defense
everything.
solo 4, which we saw. So you got like all the options that you could possibly want.
Yeah, whatever Julia build suits your fancy, you got it, even Spiral. Wow, and multiple L's.
You have speed res versus attack speed. Jesus Christ, okay.
Yeah,
Of course, in a Divine Naga build, it doesn't make as much sense, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I have no complaints here, honestly.
You could do whatever you want. You got
Honestly,
it.
probably the best Julia setup of ours.